Oh
Well,
my
yeah.
gosh, it's so amazing to see you guys. Em and I have had the most epic, epic, epic week ever. And you know what I love as well is that not only, so I have to say, like, we were a bit cheeky. We're like, would it be okay if we kept on traveling? Because obviously, as you guys know, and anyone who's new, Arbonne pays for our flights and our hotels, and they give us a whole budget for food and champagne and all this sort of stuff as when you go nation in Maui. And they said, yeah, absolutely. We'll just, we'll put it towards your flights. And so we've actually decided, instead of just doing Maui this year, we've continued. So we've stayed on an extra week. We've gone to Oahu. We're now, after this, we're going back to Noosa in Australia for a few weeks, then over to New Zealand. We're doing a whole world trip. So it's just, Arbonne is so unbelievably generous. It's insane. So honestly, and I just look like, when we arrived in Maui, I was just like, oh my goodness, as you guys know, this is something that, I dreamt of 4 years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, how could that really be me? So if you're having those thoughts right now, I've so been there, and then fast forward 3 years and 4 months, we went nation as a team. And, I just walked through those doors and I arrived and they're putting lays on us, all these little bad boys. And it's just honestly like more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. And then you go down to, the hotel bar, or you go and sit by the pool, and there's Debbie Neal hanging out beside you. And then Cecilia Stoll comes up and she's like, hey girl, and then when you're going for dinner with Cassandra House and all these guys. And it's just like, oh my gosh, who would have thought? And I want you guys to know, like, if we rewind my story 4 years ago when I first started this business, I remember it was actually in January 4 years ago that I had my second launch. I'd already done one business launch. I did it in person. I believe so much in this business. I was like, right, I'm hiring, a hotel room, and I filled it. I asked hundreds of people to my first launch, okay? And 42 turned up. Every single person said no. But I was like, no worries. I believe in this. Let's go. And so I hired another room, and there were another 10 people. And guess what? At that event, and it was in January 4 years ago, there was a guy that was so nasty to me. He said to me, don't you ever speak to me about anything like this ever again. How dare you get me to something like this? This is such a scam. This will never work. Call me when you've made £5,000 a month. And I was in tears, and I called Stuart up. He was in Maui, and he said, sweetheart, just keep going. Just keep going. Trust me, it will all be worth it. And I thought to myself, do you know what? And I don't know if you guys are going through this or have yet, but I have. And, it's just part of the business. It's part of the ticket price of getting to know. And you know what? That guy has never called me up. His opinions have never been there and paid for my bills. He's never paid a single rent payment for me. He's never paid a car payment for me. He's never paid for a trip. Thank goodness I kept on going with this business, because my life is completely transformed with this. And now I'm in this position that not only was I in Maui with my gorgeous man, but I also have Em beside me. I also look at this call, 140 people on here. And I know so many of the Kiwis, and so many different people around the world aren't even on this call that have been affected by this business. So one thing that I've really learned from going to Maui, I think, as well, and meeting the people is, do you know what? Everyone is so different. Everyone is so different. There are shy people. Sarah Dunning pretty much hid in her hotel room the whole time. Doesn't stop her from being number one income earner in the UK. Do you know what I mean? And there are people of all shapes, all sizes, all colors, all ages as well. I've met women who were 75 plus. And you know what? They are powerhouse women as they persisted with this business. And just so humble as well. I think that's one of the things I really saw with this. Some of these girls are on millions a year, on a million. And so it's just, but yet here they are being humble and learning from us. So that's one of the things I've really learned as well, is just, be humble and go, just, it's all about helping as many people as we possibly can get there next year. And what I want to say as well is that sometimes it feels so far away, and especially if you've been in this business for not that long, or maybe you're a district manager right now, or maybe you're an IC and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to do it? Let me tell you that was me. And any of you guys who have children, you'll know how quickly 4 years can go. You'll know how quickly 2 years can go. You know how quickly 3 years can go. And all we need to do is just persist. And, you know, I've been in those moments where I've done at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. calls to US or wherever around the world. I've been there, and I can tell you it's so worth it. Even sometimes, you know, one of my best friends said, that's such a scam. I don't have anything to do with it. Do you know what? Again, she's never paid a single bill of mine. And you know what? She's still in her job and she hates it. And I'm here because I was willing to just persist anyway. And your network needs you. They need a national vice president just like you. They don't need me even. They don't need Em. They need you. They're waiting for you. Doesn't matter what they're saying to you. They may be saying, oh, it'll never work. Oh, how could you ever do something like that? They might, whatever they're saying, they're actually waiting for you to show them that this works, to show them that they're worthy of this amazing life. You know, the great thing is, I'm sure Em will say the same, I don't even need to come home after this if I don't want to. I could do the whole year in Maui if I want to. That's the kind of freedom that I've now got, and I'm going to be able to have with my family as well when I have a family. That's the kind of freedom that we've built just from persisting. And so what I would say is, you know, as you'll go through the ups and downs over this next year on your journey to Nation, and there are 2 girls now from our team alone. So if you're even an IC, or if you're listening back to this and you haven't even joined the team yet, you know, or you've just joined, we've had multiple people who at the start of the year weren't even in the business who are now in Nation Qual. Why not you? And that's what I want you to know. Why not you? You have everything that it takes to become a national vice president and more. Emily Swaffield came as her first time. She's a national vice president, but she's just almost about to pop a nation. I did the same. I came there and bring people. So as you go through this year on your journey to Nation, think about how many people do I want to bring with me, because that's what it's about. How many people do you want to bring with you? Because you can. You know, amazing Lisa D, she joined in March and she's a Nation Qual and she'll complete this month. Why not you? Why not you? So I think that that's probably the biggest takeaway thing. And I would say as well, like, I know that sometimes it's hard to hear the no's. I know that. I've heard so many no's. I've heard mean no's. I've heard nice no's. I've heard don't ever speak to me no's. I've heard it all. But one thing that I would say, and I said this actually on training yesterday to the Barnett Nation, is that remember, this is a business of sorting. It's not personal. It's not about us. They're not saying no to us. They're not saying no to whether they believe us or whether they think that we're worthy of it or anything like that. They're just saying, you know, that it's just part of the process, and some will, some won't. So what? Someone is waiting, and someone is waiting for you to be bold and to be brave and to be courageous and to ask them, do you want to be here with me, Maui? Do you want to change your life? And that's what we have in this business. And sometimes one of the things that I found really helped me when I was first starting this business is, especially when I heard some of the hard no's, was that I imagined like a field, and I think it was Stuart Armfield told me about this. And he said, imagine you're standing in a field of leaves. And in that field, someone says to you, do you know what? Under one of those leaves, there is a $10 million leaf. There's $10 million or pounds, okay? What would you do? All you need to do is you need to just go out and find that leaf. So what would we do? So we turn over a leaf, and do we go, oh my gosh, leaf, you've rejected me? No, it's just not the right leaf. Let's not take it on. So then we don't even spend time. We don't spend tears. We don't spend pain on that. We just keep turning over the next leaf and go, could this be the leaf that's going to run? That's going to run with me. It's going to be in Maui. Yes, no. Okay, no worries. No worries. Let's keep turning over the leaf. Let's invest my time in turning over the leaves and let the no's wash off us like water. And that will lift the weight. And let's remember, so when we speak to that next person, let's just look, let's remember we're in the sorting business. We're not in the yes or no business. We're not being rejected. It was just not the right leaf. Maybe just not yet. Let's keep sorting. Let's keep looking. There's someone waiting for you. There's someone waiting for you, not me. They're waiting for you. They're waiting to see you rise. They're waiting to see you be bold. They're waiting to see you get out of our comfort zone. Because you will have people, and trust me, mark my word, as you persist and you push through, you will have people who will call you and message you and say, you were the one who changed my life. I was able to get out of a abusive relationship because of you, because you were brave and you gave me the business that got me in the financial position that I'm now here. You're going to have people that are going to thank you and that are going to cry for changing their whole financial lives. They're getting them out of debt. They're waiting for you to be bold. It is not about us. The people in our lives. My sister took 2 years to even listen to me about the business. 2 years. She said, don't even speak to me about that. The month that I went area, my own grandmother said, no, I'm not going to buy any of that stuff. I'm sick of those things. My own grandmother who loves me. People in our lives are waiting for us, no matter what they say, to see us rise and to persist despite it, because they're wishing and hoping actually maybe it could be true. Let's show them it is true if we persist, if we show up for our business. It is so worth it. I can tell you now, we've got the Jeep Wrangler out there and I'm adventuring. You can create your life how you want it. You can. You've got everything. You don't need to be like me and Em. And that's what I really want you to know. I want you to know that I have met people with 5 children, different shapes and sizes, and kicking ass. I've met single girls who are, in their early 20s that are kicking ass. Gay guys who are kicking ass. Straight, male and female teens that are kicking ass. You can imagine whatever you can imagine, you can do it with this. Go get it. You deserve to be here. The people in your life deserve to see you here with us. And I know it's not going to be just Em and I. It's going to be a massive tribe that we're going to bring back next year. And Em and I were just going like, oh my, do you know how powerful this team is? Do you know that it took Stuart Armfield, who's one of the top income earners in the UK, 3 years to bring back a single national vice president with him? And here we are, we're going to bring back so many. We were number 7. We've been in this business I've been in this business 4 years. And we were number 7 in the world for promotions. You guys know me. I've got my failings. I'm not perfect. I forget every second thing. And I'm still here because I show up. And you have this within you. Kelly McLean, go get it, babe. Samira Nassim, go get it, babe. Cassidy Crockett, go get it, babe. It's all yours for the taking. Now I'm going to hand over to my amazing soon-to-be executive national vice president, Emily Swarfield. And I have to say, this woman has shone. And if you haven't seen the new catalog, go get it. Put it cut out the photos of Em, put it on your wall. She's my poster girl. I love you, beautiful girl. And I'm so proud of you. And I know you're going to have your own massive tables as well here next year.
Thanks, Sammy. Guys, I've only just got my voice back. I literally lost my voice in Maui, not because I was partying, but not because I was having a bender, but because I literally got to Maui and I was so blown away that I was like, I can't sleep. If I'm sleeping, I'm going to have FOMO. So I literally would go to bed super late. I'd be the last one out. And then in the morning, I'd get up at a ridiculous time and I'd just go down to the front beach and just cut laps along the front just to see who I might run into. Oh, there's Peyton going for a jog. Hey, literally just to chat and connect with people, because it was such a privilege to be there in Maui that I didn't want to waste one moment of just soaking it all up, because I sat in bed last night, right, trying to write some notes for what I was going to say. And I was just speechless. I was like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know, I can't just put it into 15 minutes of the week we just experienced in Maui. But what I do want to tell you guys is that it is so worth it. Every up, every down on your journey, every like moment of excitement, and every moment where you're about to pull your hair out and say, I'm quitting, like this is it, I'm so over this business. Like, let me tell you now, I've had moments where I have wanted to quit this business, but I am not a quitter, so quitting was never a choice. But I've certainly felt like, oh my God, I'm just so frustrated, I'm doing everything right, why is it not working yet, I'm showing up to everything. Like, trust me, it's your journey. And that it like, and the thing is that when you're feeling those moments of frustration, when you're doing everything right, but you can't yet see the results, that's when you're about to have a breakthrough. You have to keep going and you have to push through. The people that throw the towel in at that point, like they're literally just moments away from having a massive breakthrough and having huge success. So you have to keep going. You have to just trust the process and that this business is a journey. And let me tell you now, having experienced the last week in Maui, even if it took me 10 or 20 years to get there, it still would have been worth it. It was that incredible. Like I actually can't even put into words what it was like being there in Maui, having worked from the day that I started my Arbonne business for that goal of earning that MVP trip to Maui. And it's not just for like the, you know, the fact that it's a holiday. Like I could pay to go on a holiday like that, right? It's not about the trip. It's about the people, and it's about it being a reward for the work that you've put in, and also being the evidence and showing people on your team that they can be there with you too. Absolutely. And I know when you start out, for those of you that might be on the, you know, for your first training call, you're just new in the business, like that goal of being an MVP in Maui might feel really far away from you right now. But I just want to completely clean the slate here and just tell you that there were multiple people, like Sammy already said, there's multiple people on our team that hadn't even started the business at the start, and they're in Nation Quo. There were multiple people in Maui that this time last year had never heard of Arbonne, had not even started the business. There's this amazing girl, Kaylin, who started the business in July, and she was there with us in Maui, having promoted to Nation in 5 months. Okay, now I'm not saying that that's like the new standard and everyone has to, you know, if you don't get to Nation in 5 months, then you suck at this business. Like I took over 3 years, okay? But what I am saying is you have to know that it's possible. Okay, you have to know that it's possible. So we had a day of training where we heard from top MVPs as well as corporate. And guys, if you knew what was coming this year, you would literally not want to sleep for the rest of this year and just work your Arbonne business. Now, we unfortunately can't share all the details of what is to come, but you guys already know about the pink rosé champagne fizz that's coming out on the 5th. So make sure, guys, the internet will probably break again like it did with the blood orange fizz, but make sure that you order that. Like don't wait, because it will sell out, and it's absolutely incredible. It actually tastes like rosé champagne. So it's 30-day approved as well. So you can be drinking when you're on plan, if that makes sense. But you have to know that there's incredible things happening. So we heard from Groupe Rocher. Groupe Rocher own us, right? So we're a brand in the portfolio of Groupe Rocher, and we are their fastest growing brand. They have never, ever, ever, ever experienced in their 100 years in business a brand that is growing like Arbonne. How incredible is that? That's how amazing we are. Like that's how much momentum that we are in. So you have to know that it's the right time with the right company, with the right team, with the right brand that you need to get to work, and just focus on getting to Maui with us. Because the worst case, like you'll fall short and you'll be in your Benz and you'll be like doing 100,000 QB. Okay, so set the bar to come back to Maui with us in 2021, because it's possible. It's absolutely possible for you guys to be there. What else did I want to say? So there were 450 national vice presidents with us in Maui. And as Sammy said, they were from all walks of life. Like I'm talking young, old, gay, straight, like all different backgrounds, shapes and sizes, shy, party animals. Like literally you have to know that there is a place for you there, and that you don't have to be like anyone else. You just have to be you, because there is someone that's going to look to you and be like, wow, they got to Nation. And they're like me, like they're super shy, or they're a recluse, or they're this or they're that. Like that means I can too. Okay, so you have to know that someone is waiting for you to do it, so they can know that they can do it too. All right. It's so, so important. And some of the moments, just reflecting that week in Maui. I went for a walk with Chris at sunset one night. We were on our way to go have dinner with Sammy, and Cassandra House and her husband. And it was one of the funniest nights ever. Like, I think that's probably what got me to lose my voice from laughing so much that night at dinner. But Chris and I were walking there on our way at sunset, and he'd told me about how that morning he went scuba diving. And so he went with a bunch of guys that like Arbonne hubbies. And he just said to me, he was like, wow, this business really can change your life, can't it? And I was like, well, yeah, duh, babe. Like, you know, newsflash. But he goes, no, like, I mean, this guy that he was from down south in the US, I met scuba diving, and he was literally almost brought to tears. It was his first Maui, about how this has turned around their life, like where they had been just a few short years ago in like debt, you know, really tough upbringing, like, you know, completely poor background, to being a national vice president, going to like Maui on a 5-star luxury. And I mean, it is so lush. Holiday where Arbonne just treat you like absolute royalty. Can you imagine how that couple felt on that trip, being like how that has changed their life? And there's a national vice president there as well that had started their business. At the point they started their business, they were homeless. Like, that's how much this business can transform your life. And then we also heard from another incredible, if you're not following her, Carrie Kane. She's amazing. I actually shared her in the group chat because she's evidence that you don't have to be big on social media. She doesn't use filters. She's only got like a couple of posts on Instagram. She's not got a huge following, yet she was there in Maui with 13 national vice presidents on her team. And she told the most beautiful story about her mother having started Arbonne with her, who's a national vice president. So within Maui with her, one of her nations, totally transformed her mother's life. And her mother and her dad were then able to adopt an entire family. Okay, so not just one kid, they adopted 5 children that were all siblings, and they didn't want to get split up into different foster homes. So because of Arbonne, her parents were able to say, hey, that's cool, we can adopt you, we can adopt all of you. We have the time and financial, like we're in the financial position to adopt this whole family so that you siblings can stay together. And they're actually flying over, I think it was from Somalia or somewhere, that to like be part of the family just after Maui. So when they get back from their trip in Hawaii, their family has expanded by 5 new siblings, which, you know, it's just stories like that that make me think, guys, that this business is so much bigger than us. It is not about us. It's about showing people what this can do. Even people like Annie Graf, chatting to her by the pool, Annie Fit Life Fit Me, each month, because her paycheck is so big from Arbonne, each month she's able to invest and give back to charity in 1 month more than what most people make in a year. Okay, so it's just remembering like the potential of what this business can do for people. Okay, and it's not always about the income, because to be quite frankly honest with you, like I was earning really good money before I started Arbonne. It was about the lifestyle and the time freedom that this business would give me, because I was completely stressed out, burnt out, unhealthy, unhappy, working in a really demanding job in banking in London. But because of Arbonne, I now earn more than I was when I was working all those crazy hours. But it's Monday morning, I'm in Hawaii, Chris has just gone surfing. Check out my Insta story for his cute little surf outfit that we bought yesterday. He's literally down in the beach surfing. I'm here doing biz calls, and then I'm going to go down and join him for lunch, and then I'm going to go stand up paddleboarding this afternoon. And that's my Monday. And we're here for another week in Hawaii. We then fly back, and then 10 days later, we fly to Mexico for the Arbonne incentive trip, all expenses paid. We're going to spend 2 weeks in Mexico because we can. And then we come back, and then we're going to go skiing in March. And then we come back, and then we've got Vegas in April, and we're actually doing an around the world trip then, so we can go back via Australia, catch up with family and friends, and one of my friends is getting married. Like, when I was working in banking, I simply couldn't do that, okay? So you have to understand that this business can completely transform people's lives. And you're on this call and you said yes to this business because you had a dream, you had a goal of what you thought, wow, what if my life could be like that? What if I could just be at home every day, all day with the kids and raise my babies as, like, you know, not having to leave them when I go to work and put them in childcare? What if I could just travel as much as I want, not care like having to ask anyone for time off? What if I could just give ridiculous amounts of money to that charity that I'm so passionate about? Like, what if you guys said yes to this because you had that vision and you had that goal of what your life could look like? Not mine, not Sammy's, not anyone else on this call, but your life. Okay, so just have the discipline, do the activity. And the reason why there was only 450 national vice presidents in Maui is not because there isn't space for tens of thousands more, but just because those 450 people had done the work. Okay, they pushed through the pain. You don't get to have the testimony without going through the test. Okay, it's not always been sunshine and rainbows. Let me tell you that. Sammy's been at the end of many calls when I've called her crying, being like, I'm just tired. I just don't think I can do this anymore. But I can tell you right now, and I'm getting emotional as I think about this, it is so worth it, guys. And this business is freaking incredible. Like what it can do for you and your families and how it can change your life. Like I can't even tell you what I experienced that week in Maui. It was just incredible. So you have to know that you have everything inside you, but you just have to put the effort in. You have to do the work, and you just have to keep going until. So whether it takes you 10 months to get to nation, or it makes you 10 years to get there, it's going to be worth it. I promise you that. So worth it. And there's nothing that I can say or do that's going to catapult you into that, because you're going to come off this call, right? And you're going to be like, oh, so fired up and I'm so motivated. But guess what? Motivation doesn't last. Okay. So I want you after this call to really think long and hard about your why and your emotional connection to that why and those dreams and those goals and that vision you had when you said yes. And I want you to remember that every single day. So when you're tired and you're in a shit mood and you just don't feel like reaching out to people or following up or going and sharing this business with people, you do it anyway. Because the more you do that, the more you're going to get into the habit of it just being like when you brush your teeth. Okay. Please promise me that you will do that. Really spend some time thinking about your why, because it will make it so much easier for you to just actually do what you need to do to grow your business and move it forward. The last thing I want to quickly touch on, 1 minute to go, is that we are in such massive momentum and such growth that not only have we outgrown the hotel in Maui, so there was another hotel that they were like busing people back and forth. It was an amazing hotel just up the road, that next year it's going to be in a different location that's apparently even bigger and better, the Hyatt. It's all newly renovated. But we've also outgrown GTC. So for those of you that are registered and coming to GTC, 100 million%, you have to walk that stage as a new region, and you have to be at that white party as a new area manager, because GTC 2021 isn't actually going to be happening for us international people. Okay. So they've outgrown the venue, and it takes a year to plan GTC, that they can't just like come up with a magical solution. So going forward, it's going to be every couple of years, we're going to have a big international gathering coming together. Okay. But this is such exciting news that we've got like such crazy growth, but that means that this GTC, you have to walk that stage as a new region, and you have to get your ass to the white party, because that's not going to be an option next year. You have to walk that stage as a new nation. If you're going for nation, it's not going to be an option next year. Okay. So I just wanted to share that because yeah, and if you're not on the wait list for GTC, get yourself on the wait list straight after this call. You don't have to pay anything to get on the wait list. I don't believe you just have to sign up to get on the wait list, and then they'll contact you to say you've got a spot and that you can come. That GTC, the Global Training Conference, for anyone that's brand new, will completely change your business. Lisa D came with me in her second month. She was like, do I really have to come? And I was like, yes, you do. And she just made it happen. She scrapped a trip to Bali for her fiance and came to GTC, and that month she came back having done, I think it was like region qual with like 58,000, and then following month she'd 72,000 in her second or third month. So you have to know that GTC can completely transform your vision, and that there's nothing else like it. So please don't miss out on this GT. Please don't miss out on being on that stage. Sammy, did you have anything else that you wanted to share before we jump off?
Yeah, babe, just quickly upcoming events. So the 16th of January, guys, put it in the diary. We will break the internet yet again. Make sure that all of your world knows about the Champagne Fizz Sticks. It's going to be epic. Then the Live Discover Arbonne on the 28th of January. Okay. That's an official Arbonne one. So that's an official Arbonne one in terms of you need to go inside your website, okay, and register. You can have a maximum of 4 people come with you. If you have more than that, don't worry, just go there and we'll find a solution. The 18th of February, Tuesday the 18th of February, I'm flying back for the Live Discover Arbonne at Grafton, okay? So make sure you come to that, coming out early, bring your guests. Let's bond, let's over champagne and show them how fun we all are. So the 18th of February is that one. Then on the 23rd of February, we have Nation Uni. Guys, this is so important. Okay, make sure you get to this one. It's going to be at Oxford, okay, at I think it's called Oxford Belfry, same spot as usual. We've actually almost outgrown this as well. So the next one's going to be in a different location. It's just explosion time. Then we have the district manager training. So if you are a district manager, make sure you get your little booty here, okay? Em Swaff went to this, and the next month she went area. Okay, it's really amazing. So it's on Saturday the 15th of February in Coventry. Make sure you come there. Then Saturday the 28th and 29th, okay, we've got AM retreat. If you're an area manager or VP, make sure you get your little booties there. It's going to be epic. Okay, guys, we've got Lisa D on the next call. We love you, and I can't wait for you to be here with us next year.
Bye, guys. We love you. See you on the weekly whipping.